One of the first things I had to master for the GS trophy in Mongolia was learning to stand right, as it was 7 hours a day of standing and riding in the sand. In this episode, I show you what I learned and the drills I used to practice.
Hello everyone, this is Suprej Venkat. Welcome to Chapter 3. In Chapter 2, we looked at how balanced the bike is and how easy it is to maneuver once you understand the tipping point of the bike. Now in this chapter, we're going to speak about standing up. So what I mean by standing up is when you're actually riding in dirt and slush, any off-road situation, it's better to stand up on the bike. Let me just quickly show you what I mean by that. Just something like this, yeah. So you have your feet at the center on the pegs on both hands. Just first, put it on center stand. See how it feels. Yeah, just stand up straight. Feel, look at how you feel. And then the right way to do it is you don't bend your back. You bend your hip. So if you bend your hip a little bit, and remember what we spoke about in the last lesson of wide elbows. So have your elbows wide like this, and this is your attack position. So when you're attacking dirt, slush and things like that, this is the position that gives you the best possible way to maneuver the bike. So there are a few reasons for that. Reason number one, when you're standing, the bike is free to move around. See, in slush, in sand, in places like that, there's less traction. When there's less traction, the rear is free to move left and right. Imagine if you're sitting, the bike is not that free to move, and that's when it actually throws you off the bike as well. But when you're standing, and when you're throttling, the bike goes left and right. Don't worry about it. You keep looking forward. You continue to feed throttle, and the bike will straighten itself out. So the first thing is to try and find your most comfortable position. So there are a couple of ways you could do it. So you've got handle raisers that are available. So when I rode in the GS trophy, it was suggested that we don't use handle raisers, but then I find that a lot of bikers do. So depending on your height, you might have to use handle raisers to give you a comfortable position. Else you have to hinge more. Just make sure you don't bend your back. The second thing is there are inbuilt adjustments in your steering where the steering has to a small degree can tilt up. So check what angle works for you. And then the first thing is just try and get comfortable standing, back straight, legs bent, and looking forward. See, if you look at me now, the weight is not on the handlebar, right? That's a key thing to realize. If you're like this, you have no control, right? So the key to remember is you have to hold the handlebar loosely and just relax, have a relaxed feeling with your handlebar. The weight is not on the handlebar, right? The weights are on your thighs, and you're standing and you're ready to attack whatever terrain comes your way. So the second thing is, once you found your comfortable standing position, is to understand how the steering changes when you're standing. So when you're normally riding, you might tend to steer with your handlebars, but in off-road you can't do that. So the way you steer is with your legs, right? So your legs are planted evenly. If you move weight to one side of the leg, the bike will go to the right. So if you want to change lanes from, you have a dirt road with the two distinctive lanes, and you want to move from the left to right, you can't steer with your steering wheel. There's no traction there, right? So you need to keep throttling, and what you could do is just put your weight on your right leg. So you bend it a little bit more, and if you feel your left leg lose a little bit of weight, the bike will veer to the left, and then you straight back again. So first thing that you could try and do is just put it on center stand. Just try standing, find your comfortable position, and just try doing this. Just try bending both sides and see whether you could feel. See, for example, you should be able to lift up your other leg. I'm just exaggerating, but you get the idea. So if you move the weight on either side, then the bike will actually move in that direction. So once you're comfortable on a stationary bike, it's time to practice some drills. Find an open place where there's nobody else, preferably a private land or a car park with no cars around at that time of the day. And we'll go through some drills now on how you could get comfortable standing. So the first drill we're going to do is just get used to sitting down and standing up on the motorcycle while it's on the move. So just sit down and then stand up. See how you're feeling, right? And pay attention to the weight. See, for example, when you're standing, your arms should be free. If you find that you're not able to lift your arms up, it means that you're putting too much pressure. Make sure your back is not bent. You can just touch your back and feel whether it's straight, whether the load is on your legs and nice and relaxed. And just try this exercise a few times until you're comfortable of sitting and standing and making sure that your arms are free and you're not putting too much weight at the front. Okay, so drill 2 is once you're comfortable standing on the motorcycle and you're able to sit and stand without any problem, and you don't have you're not putting too much weight on the handlebar, then try taking your left hand out and keep it to the left, and then just ride with one hand. So this might look like a stunt, but it's not. It's to actually teach you how the balance of the bike changes with the movements that we make in the body, right? So try doing it to the right hand. So just keep alternating and get comfortable with the feeling, because there will be a change in feeling with every change of the body. And that's what you have to try and understand now. What happens when you lift your hand out on either side? How does the balance change? If it does, is the weight still well balanced? And get used to this feeling. And the final drill is stand up straight, as I mentioned earlier, and then put your left feet out. Put your left leg out. Let it feel how the weight, when the weight is on your right peg, how the bike is trying to push you to the right. Try it on the right leg now. See, the bike has come to the left lane. Now try it on the other leg. So if you try alternating this, you'll see how, even though my hands are straight, I'm not steering at all, but by just lifting my legs out, you can see the bike is moving to the left and the right. So get used to this feeling, because this is the feeling that will let you actually turn the bike with just using your legs and not actually using the handlebar. So in this chapter, we looked at why it's important to stand up, how the weight or the balance of the bike changes when you put your arms out, and also you've learned how to actually steer the bike without actually using the handlebar, and that's how you would have to steer when you're riding off-road. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next episode, where I'll be speaking about vision and how important vision is, and how you could actually make tight turns if you just look at the right place. See you then.